Good morning, good morning. I'm sorry I'm 9 minutes late, you all. I apologize. I apologize. Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday. I'm doing okay. I'm sunburnt. My whole body hurts. I went to the beach yesterday with my friends, had an amazing time, but got really, really sunburnt. So I'm in a lot of pain. I got sun in places I shouldn't have gotten sun, damn it. So that's what I did this weekend. I went to the pool. Good morning, Jen. Happy Monday, honey. Love you, girl. So or Saturday, I was at the pool, which I like stay kind of covered up. Red Dog, good morning, my friend. Red Dog's my friend, y'all. I love Red Dog. Much love to you and your family, Red Dog. I hope y'all had an amazing weekend, sir. So, anyways, back to my story. Saturday, I went to the pool, but you guys know I've told you I have like a surfer top that's like long sleeves that I wear with a pair of swim shorts. Well, good morning, Crystal. Good to see you, honey. Beautiful lady, Janie AR. Good morning, beautiful lady. I've got some beautiful women in my chat this morning. I got Jen, Janie, Crystal. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope your weekend was amazing. So, Saturday, I was more covered up when I was at the pool because I was worried about the sun. So, then yesterday, me and my friends decided to go to the beach. And I did put on sunscreen a shit ton of times, but I will be putting up a before and after picture up on my community wall of what I looked like when I first got to the beach versus when I came home from the beach. Good morning, JM. How are you, sir? Eyes open. Good morning, hon. How are you? Yeah, it is Zoiks. JM, it is Zoiks. I'm sunburned. I am fried to a crisp. The only good thing is, good morning, the den. I love you, girl. Hope you had a good weekend. The only thing is that with me, if I get a sunburn, it immediately turns into a tan. Good morning, Jonathan. Thank you for the rose, my bestie. Mr. Jonathan Evans. Kay, good morning. Another beautiful woman in here. What did I do to deserve all these pretty ladies in my chat this morning? Because each one of these women in my chat are amazing women. They're amazing mothers. They're amazing grandmothers. They're just amazing women altogether. You couldn't ask for a better set of women that's within my chat right now. I'm sorry, but they are. Jen, Janie, Kay, Crystal, the Den. All of you ladies are amazing. I just want y'all to know that. Women like us that do so much and, are so good to people, we don't get told very often how wonderful and what a good job we're doing. So I'm just taking the time out to let all the women that are in my chat right now know that they're amazing women, they're killing it, and they're amazing. Getting hot over in the States now, Cassie. Yeah, it's super hot down here in Florida. So, yeah. So, okay, well, it's true, honey. It's true. Kay, it really is. Kay's an amazing woman. She works her ass off for her children and her man. She's a wonderful mother. She's always taking her kids to football or cheerleading or gymnastics. You know, the women that work really hard to take care of their family and their children, they deserve a lot of respect. So, well, Louisiana and euthanasia. I'm sorry, it took me a minute to try to say that word. I'm not talking about her. No, she isn't amazing. I will agree with that, but I don't really talk about her. I don't say her name. I don't say her channel's name. It's just the way it is. Everyone knows how I feel about that, so there's no need of talking about it. So, you know, Jen's an amazing woman. She does works really hard. She takes care of her grandbabies. Janie AR is another woman that's amazing. They're just there's a lot of good people. The Den, she's amazing. I got a lot of amazing men in here too, like Red Dog. Awesome dude, amazing man, father, husband, son, brother, friend, amazing dude. Jonathan Evans, another amazing man. Eyes Open, another one, an amazing person. JM's amazing. Red Dog's amazing. So I do have a lot of respect for people. What? Don't worry, I'll do in for the both of us. I don't know what enough for the both of us. Oh, I guess. Yeah, Kay, you've been working out a lot at the gym, girl. I'll give it to you. Kay's getting herself looking right. Kay's always been a beautiful girl, but she's working out, so she's looking good. Good morning, Brookie. Hi, Mama. How you doing? How's the babies? I hope they're doing good. Brookie's another lady that's a good woman. She's a good mom. She does what she needs to do to take care of her kids. I have respect for women that are like that. I have respect for women that are no nonsense, that are going to tell you like it is, and, who take care of their kids, take care of their grandkids, do what they need to do. So, but yeah, I got completely fried at the beach yesterday, you guys. I will post a before and after, but I'm fried to a crisp. But with me, anytime I get a sunburn, it immediately turns into a base tan. I don't blister, I don't peel. So, um, I did stay under an umbrella part of the day to make sure, I wasn't getting that much sun. But when you have the sun reflecting off the sand, and then you go to get in the water, and then you have the sun reflecting off the water and shit, plus it was breezy. And down here, it can be cloudy as fuck, but if there's a breeze, you can get sunburnt by the fucking wind. So it was like a trifecta yesterday. So, and it's been freaking forever since I've just gone to the beach and chill. I mean, normally if I go out to the beach, I'm fucking fishing. Good morning, rolling, rolling, rolling. That's another guy who's an amazing guy. I give it up to Roland. Oh, no problem, Brookie. It's true. You guys know I don't come on here and make up lies and shit. I say it how it is. I say what I want. And if people don't like that I give certain people respect, well, that's their problem, not mine. So, but if you're a good mom, if you're a good woman in general, and I'm gonna let people know that you are amazing. It's the way it is. Yeah, over coast yesterday gave my daughter a little sunburn. Yeah. Oh, no problem, Roland. It's true. Just like Red Dog. Red Dog's an awesome guy, too. He's an amazing father, a good husband. He's a good man all the way around. You're lucky if you're friends with Red Dog. You're lucky if you're friends with Roland. You're lucky if you're friends with Jonathan. You're lucky if you're friends with JM. JM, when I was at the beach, those voices, boy, I couldn't get them to shut up. I didn't know whether I wanted to go swimming, lay out, or fucking run back to the car in the AC. I'm just fucking with you, JM. I don't really hear voices, or do I? So, So did everybody have a really good weekend? I hope you all did. I had an amazing weekend. Rip it. Good morning, girl. Love you, honey. I happened into lick that like button on this morning. Thank you. I appreciate that you licked it. Thank you, Rip it. Good morning, sir.
What's up?
Nothing much. How's your weekend been, Jam?
Oh, I've been watching some stuff this weekend, and there was a it has nothing really to do with this community. Um, I see some names get brought up every now and then. Well, mainly, Laura still gets brought up. I think Andrea might have been the most recent one to bring up Laura, and something about some whatever the fuck she tries to spin about a LARP or some shit that me and Laura had got together to run some kind of troll on somebody or some shit. No,
What?
Laura and I,
Laura wasn't like that. Laura really wasn't into trolling. Like, yeah, she did her story time, and I guess that can be considered trolling, but Laura was like the sweetest woman ever.
hang on, my
Like,
bad.
I don't even know why anybody would even talk down on her. But JM, you also heard what's going around, didn't you? Um, Poker night. I couldn't sleep, so I ended up swinging by poker night. And you know how I did a live? You were in the chat, and I was saying how good of a live you did with the body cam footage of, Brown Square. Well, Bird tried to make it sound like I was trying to ride your dick. And so now everybody thinks like I want to be with you, JM. So yeah, that's going around that
Uh,
because I said that you did a good live and that you're a good dude. I guess I must be swinging from your nuts.
anyway,
So
me and Laura met in 2020 or maybe 2019. I ain't going back to see how far back our messages go, but I'd known Laura for a long time before I ever come into any part of this community. And Laura actually followed me because I was telling her about Square.
yeah.
And she came over, started watching videos, and she would still watch my live streams. But when I told her about Square, she was intrigued. And the whole Mckame Manor thing, that's what come out. There was a documentary that come out this weekend, the 26th, and it's a trilogy. If anybody follows Trilogy Plus or Trilogy, whatever their name, what is their name? Trilogy something, Trilogy Media. They released a documentary with a couple of my friends, Chris Smith, Brandon Vance. I'm not too close to Boston. I know her. I've known her for a long time, but not really like friends with her the way me and Brandon are friends. But it goes into the whole Mckame Manor thing and how there's been so many things over the years since like 2017, 2018, when he came to Tennessee, when Russ McCamey moved from San Diego to Tennessee. Um, it started going around in 2018, 2019 that there was this extreme haunt in Tennessee that you could go to and win $20,000. Well, it was on news and shit, and it just happened to hit our market because we're not far from Tennessee. So there, it was around Halloween. It was probably August or maybe September. Um, there was a news segment on our local Birmingham news about Mckame Manor, and I believe AL.com ran a story on it too. Um, and they were talking about winning 20 grand if you could make it through, if you could last, you'd win $20,000. Well, I got intrigued and started looking into it, and this is probably like September 2019. Well, there was a whole bunch of stuff that none of the documentaries really go over that went on prior to where the documentaries pick up. Um, there's a there was a whole Facebook group that was called Truthers, I can't remember. Maybe that was the first name. I don't remember, but it changed names a couple of times. But there was a group on Facebook that was dedicated to taking Russ down, and it was a guy by the name of Josh Owens that was over the group. And me and Josh got to be friends and started doing like YouTube stuff together. Um, and he had signed up to go to Mckame Manor and wound up canceling before he ever left to go to it. Said he had a car wreck on the way or some shit, which wasn't true. He didn't have a wreck, but he just backed out because he got wind that something wasn't right. But over the years, there's been so many people that tried to speak out against Russ, and some of the names that like never get brought up. One, Russ had a woman that took a quote unquote tour. He called him a tour, and her name was Susan. Um, hang on.
Now, is this new documentary, is it just out on YouTube or is it out anywhere else?
It's on YouTube. It's on Trilogy Media. Yeah, Motivated was there. Motivated was he's been there. Like me and him and Laura all came from the same area.
Yeah.
Like that's where we came from. And Motivated knows these people that I'm naming. He may not know that much about Susan, but he does know Susan took a tour with Russ. And one of the things that it really, I don't know, I kind of backed away from the whole Mckame Manor thing and quit with Russ after I released a video with some messages in it. And the messages were between me and Susan. Susan had described to me in detail Russ Mckame telling her that he had thoughts of her underage child and masturbated to it.
What?
And I was like, man, this is fucking there's no fucking way this guy should be walking around a free man. Some night he needs to do something to him. And I remember I took a video, I made a video of the messages and blocked out her name and phone number because we texted. I mean, Susan was like Susan had she would she would wake up early or she would drink. She was bad to drink. And she would call me up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and just talk and talk and talk about Russ and the things he used to say. It was like it was trauma. I mean, she was traumatized by this man. Um, and Susan didn't really know how to. And I tried to get Susan to do the Hulu documentary. Like when Hulu talked to me, I backed away. I was like, no, I don't want no part of the documentary. I'm not. I'm good. And I mean, there's nothing financial as far as monetary gain from a documentary. But Hulu wanted me to like they wanted me to just give up all the footage I've got of Russ. And I'm like, no, because I've spent money and like bought hard drives and shit, and I still have Google Drive where I have a lot of stuff saved. Like I've spent all this time and effort and money to save all this stuff of Russ. And I'm talking hours and hours and hours of Facebook live streams that Russ would do inside his closed Facebook group. Because I would save the videos. I would be there under an alt account, and as soon as Russ would end his live, I would save them. And I have all these hours of live streams of Russ in his closed Facebook group. And if anybody's looking for it, it's Mckame Manor. I think's the name of it on Facebook. Right now, the group is on pause, so I don't know if you can even join it or look it up. but I am still a member of the group. Obviously not under my real name. Um, Let me see if that's still the name of it. Mckame Manor Official is the name of the group. It has 31,000 members in it right now. The group is temporarily paused for 53 days. Admin paused the group on April 16th, 2025. So anyway, I'm still in that group, and I've watched all this stuff that has unfolded. Even though I've still done my thing here, I have watched all this unfold with Shay, which is the girl in the documentary, the most recent fling that Russ had, which is also the one he went to jail for back in July of last year when he was arrested for um, strangling and rape. I mean, he got arrested, and then the charges were dismissed, or the charges were what they call it, uh, null prosecutory, or whatever the word is, where the prosecution decides not to pursue. Like, yeah, Russ was released and nothing was done to him, but it's not because he was found not guilty. It's because they decided not, like, the district attorney for Summertown is a piece of shit. Oh yeah, attempted murder. Yeah, that's one of them. Like, this shit's fresh because I just got finished watching. Well, I still ain't completed it, but most of the way through the documentary, and it's brought back a whole lot of damn like memories and shit of what got me started, like on YouTube. That's how I got my start. MOL knows. I mean, before I ever did a live stream on YouTube, I was doing lives on Facebook. And in the whole Kata Silvis thing, and they like to run around with this whole dog shit in my wife's hair and all that. Okay, all that stuff comes from Russ because I've never been to Russ McCame's. I've never done Mckame Manor, never really liked Russ from day one. I got my start by joining Russ's Facebook group under my real name, and I seen all these videos from San Diego, right? And I told this on Birds like God, 3 years ago. The same thing I'm about to say is the same thing I said on Birds, but of course that's no longer around. She lost that channel and probably doesn't have it. But asking how I came into YouTube and all that shit, I got my start by joining Russ's Facebook group under my real name. And I was looking for the videos of people going through in Tennessee the way that they were doing in San Diego. Because if you go look, you can still find it on YouTube. It's still there. Mckame Manor on YouTube. Go look at the videos that are up. And that's when he was in San Diego. All right. So I was looking for those videos and I joined Russ's group and I'm looking for these videos because they were intriguing the way he would edit videos and put them up. And you see people and you think, oh, they're pushing themselves to the limit and doing this stuff. And so I couldn't find any of the videos in the group. I wasn't seeing him do anything. I stayed in there a couple of weeks and I'm like, well, there's nothing new happening. So what the hell's going on? And this is a group at the time that had like 20,000 people in it. Well, I start looking at other Facebook groups and trying to find, all right, what's going on? Like something, there's got to be more videos out here somewhere. So I find these hater groups that are against Russ, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because you have it's kind of like being wherever you live. If there's a haunted attraction around Halloween and they have a Facebook page, well, then you have hate groups that are against that particular attraction. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Where there's all these groups, there's Mckame Manor Talk, there's Truthers, there's all these other Facebook groups that are against Mckame. Like, what is he doing that's so bad? That people are against him and have created these Facebook groups to go at him. So I start going into these hater groups And one of them that I joined was Truthers, and that's the one that Josh Owens was running. And start talking to people in there, and I see all these people talking about how it's all bullshit, and Russ is a fucking liar. And none of this stuff is easily accessible at the time. You can't find anything concrete. That is until this group starts gaining a little traction. And once the group started gaining some traction, more people started joining, got up to about, I don't know, 2 or 3 thousand people in the group. And I think I still have the group. I hardly ever go in there anymore, but I still have the Facebook group because when Josh left, he turned it over to me. And once people started speaking out, we started doing like these little interviews with folks that had been through Mckame Manor. And in some way or another, it always ended the same way. They never made it. They never made it all the way through. Well, you almost made it. You almost, you were within 5 minutes of getting through and winning $20,000. And that's what people were doing. Is Russ would say, "Oh, you can win 20 grand if you make it 8 hours. If you can last 8 hours, you'll make it through and you'll win 20,000." Well, Russ would keep moving the goalpost. That was his stick. And it went so far. Now, Russ is previous military. Russ was in the military. He was in the Navy for 23 years. And it's amazing how I still know all these details that, you know, I can just call them out right off the top of my head because I spent so much time going through this shit. I mean, I spent hours and hours and hours, like interviewing people. Laura Brotherton. I interviewed Laura Brotherton, and it's still on my channel where I did her interview. It's about a 2 hour long interview where she details how she met Russ, how she went to San Diego, flew from Colorado to San Diego to do Mckame Manor when it was in San Diego. And they beat the shit out of that woman. Literally, they whipped her ass. And Russ never laid a finger on her. And that's the thing. You can look all you want to. There is no movie, all the Russ movies that are out, all these little videos that Russ would put up on his YouTube, you will not find one of Laura Brotherton and what she did at Mckame Manor because he never would release it. So Laura me and Laura started talking, and I was like, you got to talk, you got to tell the story. Like, you've got to, like, from beginning to end, how it got started, like, what brought you to Mckame Manor, how did you find out about it, and then what happened once you got there. And we go through all that on an interview that I did with her on my channel. And I believe it probably still public. I don't know if I know it's still there. I don't remember if I made it private or not. But they fucked her up. And that was when Russ still had actors that worked with him. And nobody got paid anything. All these people that had, Russ had help from these folks, they didn't get paid anything. It was just, they just got to whip somebody's ass for free because the people were tied up. I mean, it wasn't like they could fight back, and Russ started all that shit. It started as a home haunt. He had a walk-through boo haunt in his little town out in San Diego, in his little neighborhood. He had, and every year, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until finally it was no longer just a walk-through boo haunt. It was a one person at a time, and it was dedicated to one person. And then, Russ would tell you, I'm gonna make an entire show around you, and I'm gonna do all this stuff, and you're gonna be the star. You'll be in your own movie, and I'll put it up on YouTube. I mean, he's like the used car salesman of the extreme haunt genre, but he gives extreme haunts a bad name. And that's where all the stuff comes from, where, you know, the whole dog shit smearing thing. Russ did that to people that went through Mckame Manor, which none of us ever did. And the only person that was involved with Kata Silvis that did do Mckame Manor was Brandon and Rhett. Those were the two people. And when they left, when they split up with Mckame Manor, they started out trying to work with Russ. That was how Katie Silvis got their start. Was Russ came to Tennessee. Nobody really knew anything about him because nothing was out about him. There wasn't any bad press on Russ, and everything that was bad, Russ would spin it and say, "Oh, they're just haters. They're just low information people. They don't know what they're talking about." And so he would spin everything negative that folks would say about him and make it like, "Oh, they're just haters. They're just lying. They're all lying. They're just trying to make me out to be a bad guy." So not only that, and the documentary goes into this, Russ would threaten anybody. If you came to Mckame Manor, you had to sign that waiver. And that's what the sticking thing was that waiver. And people say, well, why would you sign something like that or whatever? Well, Russ is talking it up the whole time like a used car salesman. So he convinces people by manipulation to sign this waiver. But there's also a defamation clause that if you say anything bad about him, then he would sue you for $50,000. And so most of these people that were coming to see Russ were, and this is like some of the documentary goes over this. These were people that needed money. They were doing it for money, thinking they were going to win. And they were motivated to win $20,000 because $20,000 that can change your life. So a lot of the people that were, signing up to come see Russ thinking that they were going to get a payday. And in the end, they were just going to be humiliated. And we started, doing these interviews and stuff. And it was wild. I mean, the whole, uh, that whole time period, like when everybody kind of turned against Russ, Katie Silvis went their own way. The Marissa tour, and some of that's talked about in Hulu and in this trilogy media documentary. The Marissa tour is kind of what Katie Silvis saw what Russ was about. Damn, almost at the beginning, like damn near before they ever really got started, they seen what Russ was before he could even do anything. He was trying to like get Marissa to admit something that she didn't know. And he's dunking this chick. And Marissa's a small girl. She was like 5'4", 120 pounds. I mean, she was a little bitty thing. And not only that, she had some like a disorder. She had an eating disorder. And Russ threatened everything that he could possibly threaten with her. He threatened to make everything public about her and humiliate her over her being anorexic and all that stuff. And just tried to every way he could, he wanted to embarrass that girl. And when Katie Silvis and Mckame Manor were working together, the first tour they did and the last tour they did was Marissa. And they seen within a few minutes of starting that Russ was in for something different than what they were. They were trying to give people a true extreme haunt. And I mean, that is it's a niche market and it's not widely known about, but things like Miasma in Chicago and the Fear Experiment and Crucible in, is it Idaho? No, it's not Idaho. Anyway, Crucible is part of Castle of Chaos. I mean, there's extreme haunts that are legit extreme haunts. And they do push people to the limit, but they also abide by a safe word. And when you're done. And that was the problem with Russ is you didn't have a safe word. You could say I quit all you wanted to, and the show didn't end until Russ decided that it was over. I'm surprised he didn't kill somebody. Like I'm really shocked Russ is not in jail for murder. And he came real close with Shay. like hearing her talk and watching, I watched the lives that they're talking about in this documentary on Trilogy. I watched that shit happen and I'm like, wow, this girl is so brainwashed. Like he has manipulated her so bad. But nobody could get through to her and let her know that, hey, you're just one of many. It's crazy. I mean, it's fucking wild. But that's the whole. That's where I came from was Mckame Manor.
Yeah, Russ is fucking insane. Now,
Hmm.
I do know it's not like how Russ's haunted house is, it's not an extreme haunted house, but I know in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, there's been a huge haunted house out there for years and years and years. Like, I used to go to it as a kid and shit, and it's still there and it's always open. It's like year round, but they don't do that. But yeah, Russ is insane.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, so Russ has kind of moved away from using his group as a dating pool. That's what, and we've said that for years now. Like we said that years ago when him and Susan had split up. Um, and it took a little while before Susan reached out, and Susan just wanted somebody to talk to. And for months, I was taking phone calls from Susan, and I never told anybody about it. I just kind of kept everything to myself because she was telling me things that nobody knew about Russ. And I'm like, God, there needs to be some way to put this shit out. And I'm trying to convince her the whole time, like, do an interview with me, like, go live and do an interview. But she was afraid. She was afraid Russ would come after her over what she was saying, and she never would do it. And then she finally
Yeah.
put out an audio and detailed the abuse and stuff that Russ put her through.
Crystal is asking, what was the lady's name that went to the hospital afterwards?
That was Laura Brotherton.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm. Yeah, Laura got the whole shit beat out of her. And I've got pictures of Laura, and I think they showed them in the documentary, but I have one picture of Laura that she sent, not Laura that everybody here knew. This is a different Laura. Um, Laura sent me pictures of her before and after. So she sent me one picture of her on the plane from Colorado to San Diego, and she looks normal. And then she sent me the pictures that she took in the hospital after she did Mckame Manor in San Diego. And you couldn't even, they don't even look the same. Like they don't even look like the same person. Her face is all swelled up. They do what they call it fish hook. It's called fish hooking, and it's a torture technique. And it's, unless you're really violent with it, it doesn't hurt. It's mostly for show. But Russ was violent with it, and his people were violent with it. And you can tear your gums and shit fish hooking people. It's done through the gums, like it's where you take your finger and you curl it,
Yeah,
put it inside the
my
cheek.
grandfather taught me how to do that if a guy attacked me to fish hook him.
Yeah. So that was one of the things Russ would do is fish hook people, and their lips would be all swelled up and shit, and you can't even like it was bad. What happened with Laura was fucking horrible. But then she was just scared to go after him because she didn't want to get sued. You know, Russ has got um this $50,000 threat that's lingering over your head, and you don't want to say something because he'll take you to court and sue you. No, I didn't get to see it. I was hoping somebody screen recorded it. Was it, what did he talk about? What did he talk about in it?
Yeah, Roland, give us the deets.
And I tell you, yeah, Laura is lucky, but who's even more lucky is that Shaylin girl. That girl doesn't know how close to death she was coming to. And listening to that, some of the the voice clips and recordings, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. She's lucky to be alive. She's lucky Russ didn't kill her.
Yeah, like I understand like why guys will sign up for those extreme haunts. And I love a good haunted house and stuff like that. Me myself, I would never go to an extreme haunt because of the crap they do. But I don't think any woman should go to those because you're more vulnerable and they're able to do more to you than what they really can to a man. So, I mean,
Well,
I just wouldn't go, period. But
my buddy
she is lucky
Brandon,
to be alive.
my buddy Brandon, that I mean, I'm texting. Me and him's texting right now. But he served in Afghanistan, and I mean, he saw some shit that really fucked with his head. I mean, he did, I think, 4 tours in Afghanistan before he came out. He was in for 20 years, and he came out. Um, some of the things that the reasons that he does the extreme haunts is because, and he's told this before, is because he wanted to see if there was anything like he was disconnected from reality because of the trauma and shit that he faced in war, like in Afghanistan. You know, because over there, I mean, you hear the stories and you see a little bit on the news of what they do, but some of the the atrocities that they uh, put people through over there, and I don't mean, I'm talking about the Muslims and how they torture people. I mean, it don't matter to them, women, kids, whatever. It don't matter, and they'll use them as a, you know, a bullet magnet. They don't care. They'll send out you know, a 6-year-old with an AK.
Yeah, my friend, when he was in the army, he actually got discharged for mental health issues. The people were so worried about, like, they wanted to see our base. They were literally throwing freaking vats of boiling hot oil on their children to get them into our base, just to like try to check out our base. Well, one day they decided, hey, we're going to open the base to the people. And they sent my friend's battalion, or whatever you want to call it. They sent it, and they freaking sent them out there and like bombed the whole city, whoever was left that didn't show up. And they told my friend, if you see a pregnant woman, shoot her and get two for the price of one, because they're just going to teach their child how to be to be a pretty basically a suicide bomber in a way, I guess. So, can you turn on your camera so I can make sure it's really you? Okay, thank you.
We're
Good
doing this
morning,
again,
Andrea.
JM?
Yeah, you ain't seen the documentary that come out this weekend?
Oh, honey, I couldn't wait till you got to the part in your script where you talk about how all of it was to help soldiers with PTSD and desensitization issues.
What?
You're doing it all for the soldiers, right, JM?
Doing what? What am I doing for the soldiers?
Well, this torture shit that you're always trying to sell.
Oh, I'm not selling anything.
It sounds to me like you liked what Russ was doing and you guys just wanted to kind of make your own, branch of that.
Yeah, that's it, Andrea.
Well, was it true that when your wife entered as a fill-in that she LARPed some of the torture?
No, my wife didn't go to Mckame Manor.
I'm talking about Cadis Silvis. You know what I'm talking about.
It was all scripted.
Well, you took the whole family. You took the whole family, you put them on a live stream, including your children. But when I did nothing to you, you went looking for my kids on Facebook, or one of your friends did and handed you off a bunch of stuff. So what are you doing exactly? Are you making movies? Are you stalking people? Are you a torturer, or all of the above?
All of it.
Okay. I mean, I'm just so you're doing a public service, helping the
That's it.
soldiers who are
That's it.
desensitized from watching babies get killed. So you're trying to recreate that in America for them? Such a nice therapy you do.
Yeah.
Is there a cost for this service?
How do you want to pay? Are you interested in signing up?
Well, I mean, do people pay to do it?
Do you want to pay to do it?
Why are you deflecting? Don't be a square.
I mean, if you want to come do it,
does it
sign up.
pay?
Oh no, you're not going to get paid. We'll torture you for free.
Okay, well, let's go back to the part about when you had your wife fill in for the show. Was she really experiencing the torture, or were you guys LARPing it out a little bit for the other participants who wanted to be desensitized and test their limits?
I don't know. I wasn't back there when she was going through it. I was doing a live stream. Remember?
Okay, well, let's go back to your victim noises about the Laura thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's do that. So what I did was I took a clip from a monetized video that Paula has up. So she's the one that's benefited to the tune of 9,000 views by titling it as a Laura Memorial.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that that was a memorial video?
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
Well, it was a cry stream. And I just wanted to remind you that you and Paula are continuing the same shit that you did before. You're like an aftercare team. So now what we're hearing is that Laura was a victim of some of this shit. You guys buddy trolled her, convinced her and recruited her to be part of your troll group so that she could be a possible target.
Laura
Paula
was one
had
of
her
the
on stream
admins
with
of
Rip
Mckame
in a
Manor
cry
Talk.
stream where everybody pretended to care.
So back when Laura and Paula,
and then Laura passed away 4 days later. How did Laura die? You should know, because you did set up a live stream for everyone to watch. So you also benefited. Everything you do, JM, you have a damage control plan for how you're helping others. And I am done with your Eddie Haskell boy next door bullshit. You're a predator.
I'm going to be in your town next week. Can I
come by?
You think I'm joking?
I'm not venomous silverback, honey.
I don't care if you are.
And you don't scare me. You've proven to yourself that you're a torturer, a stalker. I didn't sign up
you don't have to.
For your program.
I've got your verbal consent.
You don't know where I live. So if you want to play LARP and ride around town and visit strange people you don't know where they live, then, I mean, who am I to stop you? You're a grown adult male. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you took a nice lady named Laura and you and Paula fucking groomed her.
Yeah.
Turned her into a little bit of a troll for a little while because she was seeking acceptance from a group after being tortured and maimed by your little torture camp. You're a fucking weirdo who brought your whole family online. And then you go after other people's families. You're dumb.
Sounds like I'm pretty smart if I'm doing all that.
Oh, and you're making a movie. Yeah. I hope you can take the royalties with you to hell, motherfucker. Have a good day. You just got truth trolled again, bitch.
Fuck off.
I feel bad for your wife.
Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't even need to say anything. I was just going to let you two do what you needed to do. So.
Yeah, well.
But well, I mean,
then. she has her tinfoil hat a little tight this morning. It's okay.
Damn it.
Anyway, since we were talking about Laura was part of Mckame Manor Talk, which was one of the Facebook groups dedicated to taking down Russ long before I came around. Like Laura she was in there with Paula and Angela, and I think Carol, I believe, has the group. And I'm an admin in there now, but Laura was one of the original members of Mckame Manor Talk, and I forget how many members they've got, probably close to 10,000. But Laura was involved with it before I came into it. I met Laura because she was in one of the hater groups. And when we started talking, she told me she was a nurse and all this shit. And she was interested in it because of what went on in San Diego, because she lived in Oregon. So it wasn't that far from her.
Yeah.
On the West Coast. And Laura started seeing the same thing, the YouTube videos that Russ was putting out on the Mckame Manor channel. So Laura had been part of a group trying to take Russ down from the jump. The problem was Paula was working with Russ when he was in San Diego on scripting. She never met him. She never went to San Diego. She just did some of the stuff online, like in the Facebook group and shit, and helped script out some of the storyline he would use in his real, like his tours that people would come out there to do.
Wait, I'm sorry, friend. Good morning, JM.
So,
Are you saying Paula, like Louisiana high rise?
No, it's another
I
Paula.
came in late to the story. That's why I was okay.
Paula
Go on.
Vasquez was her name, and she was working with Russ like years ago. Like back in 2015, Paula was tied in with Russ and doing the whole Mckame Manor thing. When he was in San Diego and actively doing the haunt in San Diego, Paula Vasquez was tied in with him in some way, like doing scripting and shit.
I just came in at the tail end of Mandria spurging out, and I was hoping to. I hadn't seen her in a while. I was hoping to catch some of her. She claims she's not a flip flopper, but you guys know how to get rid of her already, right? You just don't feed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
She's
desperately
fun to toy with, though.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's a new story every week too, so it's like choose your own adventures. But she picks for you.
It's some wild shit. If somebody goes digging in that damn rabbit hole that Mckame Manor is, it's a whole rabbit hole. I mean, I was in it almost 5 years before I was like, fuck it, I've had enough, because people don't want to listen, or now they do because the documentaries point a light on it.
Yeah.
It's obvious, but back then it was like you have so many haters, and anybody that tries to speak out. Russ has a cult. People in Russ's Facebook group are like cult members, and anybody that Russ says they're being mean to me, his cult goes after those people with a vengeance. Like Justin Wolfstar, I mean, that fucking dude, it's fucking, it's wild. It's fucking wild. My last little foray into it was with Susan, when I tried to put something out showing that Russ was a sick piece of shit. When Susan told me what she told me about Russ having dreams about her child and masturbating to it and shit. And then Russ would come tell me there's nothing wrong with me. Tell me this is not, there's nothing wrong with my brain. Tell me it's normal. Like, tell me I'm okay. Like he was looking for her approval on what he was like. He's a sick motherfucker. He's just sick. And I blurred out everything that identified Susan. Nobody could depict who I was talking about from what I did, and just showed a little snippet of a message that said, Russ told me that he had, thoughts of my underage child. And I'm like, if this is not enough to show this son of a bitch is sick in the head, then fuck y'all. And there was people that came after me over that, like over putting out the the stuff that Russ had said about an underage child. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm just done. These motherfuckers, there's no convincing them anything but what Russ has told them. So I just gave up. That's when I walked away.
Yeah, sometimes you have to when it comes to shit like that. Good morning, MC.
Morning.
How are you, sir?
This sounds so thrilled. I'm being polite. I've muted for
I
Jay
am.
to
I'm
finish
being
his story.
polite too.
Nice.
I'm sunburned. I'm sunburnt, so
You
I'm a
better hydrate.
little
Get some
unhappy.
aloe.
But no, I'm being nice too.
Shout out to Louisiana Euthanasia in chat. That's Andrea. She just renamed half of her alts after
Oh,
she went
my.
on Berg spree over the weekend and deleted 2 of her backups. Goodbye, Andrea Knows Squared. Goodbye, Andrea Knows. We still have Andrea Knows Alchemy. One used to be Worky vs. Women, though. Or the Worky Chicks, or whatever the fuck they were called. She wanted to make her own women's community after you and Paula.
Uh,
Well, here comes a new chapter in the whole Andrea saga.
yeah, I
Uh,
guess.
it's a repeat, honestly, it seems like. Just go back
Here
and
you
watch.
go, MC. She responded to you.
Oh, it's funny
She has 2
because
devices.
she does have 2 devices, and she said that multiple times. But she's the one that said she was Louisiana, and she didn't change the tag right away on this alt when she renamed it. This is the one she ran around with the weird picture of Jules on, called Louisiana or whatever, lying Louisiana, some shitty play on words she thought was clever. No, this isn't a new chapter, JM. This is a repeat. This is if you go back to Milkman and watch when her and Sly used to fight a lot. This is what we're building up to. She's mustering her energy, deleting her accounts, hiding them, moving them around, going at her best friend on the whole internet. Should get juicy before summer gets too hot.
Oh, so season 1's happening all over again.
Yeah,
Is that season 2?
it's summertime. All the syndications go into reruns. I don't fucking know. All right, I was hoping to catch her, but she's too chicken shit to come back up. She wants to come up in Spurg. But I think it's funny that one of her most fuck MC. He says I did incestual shit with my kids. No, I said your dad's on paper as being a weird kid toucher, and you live with him with your kids in his house. But where I got all this information, it was put out on one of the doxathons by Filthy. But you love Filthy, you praise Filthy, and you were just up.
You
And you were.
cut out,
I'm
MC.
back. I'm back. My screen froze. Sorry. And you were just on Filthy's last live on Easter Sunday. Easter, when you should be with your kids that you say you're a good mom to. Okay. Be well, Andrea. Seek help. You need it.
Oh, she needs something.
Some of mommy's little helpers. What's she call those? Adderalls and Xanax. One for daytime and one for night.
Think she's got them mixed up.
She's got something mixed up.
She needs to come to Mckame Manor. That's what she needs to do. This is all just a ploy to get her there. We're going to get you there, Andrea.
Exercise her demons and put new ones in her.
Yeah.
There you go.
Time for some torture.
Woo-wee.
Jeez.
I heard she already went, and that's what happened to that nipple. It was sanded right off. With a
She
belt.
probably got drugged behind the truck.
She made it that far. Is that early on or is that late?
That's part of his that's what he did to Rhett Silvis, was drug him behind the truck. He called that his transportation.
All right, you guys do well. Watch out for Mandry.
All right. See ya.
Take
All
care.
right, bye, MC. So yeah. there's that. But yeah, I'm
Well, she,
definitely gonna go check that out. I wrote down that it's Trilogy Media, right?
yeah, you can. Um, I'll drop the link to it in the back.
Yeah,
It's on YouTube. If you watch it on Trilogy, so they blur out some stuff on the YouTube side. The stuff they blurred out on the YouTube side, I've already seen. Like not from Trilogy. They want you to go subscribe to Trilogy to watch the uncut version. But I've already got like there's so much shit that I've got video after video after video of Russ and the shit that he does to people. And um I mean, hell, I've got like Justin Wolfstar, the guy I just mentioned a minute ago. I've got several of the tours, but I have Justin's entire tour saved on a hard drive. And there's so many of them that God, I could never go through them all. But some of the stuff that Russ has done over the years has been it's fucking wild. And the manipulation that he uses, like how he has those people in his Facebook group so brainwashed that they'll make fake accounts and go after people that speak out on Russ. And I mean, it's just wild. And these are like supposedly they're supposed to be, strong-minded individuals, but they get in that group and Russ just pulls the wool over on them. And Andrea,
yeah.
you need to stay away from it for real. You would be a shoe-in for Russ's next victim. You'd probably be living with him in a week. Like for real. He would have you so snowed. You'd move to Tennessee and live in that little single wide trailer with Russ and all them dogs that he has in that stinking ass trailer. Because I've heard the stories, like Chris and Brandon and some of the people that went. Melissa, I mean, there were several that actually went to Russ's. I never went there. They told the stories of how bad the place smelled, and he's got like 4 or 5 huge dogs that stay inside all the time. But right, yeah, join Russ's group, Andrea. That's what you need to do if you want some good therapy. Go join Mckame Manor Official on Facebook. Okay, that's where you need to go, and I promise you, you want to. That's who you want to move in with. He's a good guy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
But
Russ
hey,
sounds like a total piece of shit. Like,
oh, he's a
I've met men like
sociopath. I
that
mean,
before, and I loosely use that word when somebody's like that.
he's a big
It's
time
just
sociopath. I mean, and
ridiculous.
he's been that way for years. It took a lot for all of it to come to light, and it took several of his victims, and I mean um like relationship type victims, because he uses the Facebook group as a dating pool. And we've
Oh,
been
okay.
we've been saying that for ages, that he was using the Facebook group as his own personal Tinder. And it's true, like 100% true. That's what he does. He gets those. He's looking for the young, uh, emotionally disturbed females, and I mean, it's sick. It's fucking sick what he does. But if he can just get one in his clinches, that's what he wants. And it's transpired several times over the past few years. MOL has watched it. We've all seen it happen, and you can't warn them. The one that we did have some bearing on was Melissa. Me and Dan Truelove, that was a guy's name. We used to message people that were supposedly the contestant for that week, because Russ was doing this shit every week. He had gotten to where he was doing a show like every Friday, Saturday. And so he would start out the week with who's going to be the next contestant, blah, blah, blah. And they would all, try to do whatever they could to get his attention. Well, we started messaging the people behind the scenes on Facebook or whatever and telling them, hey, look, you need to stay away from this guy. Like, this is what you're going into. You need to be prepared that, you know, he's gonna abuse you. And it got to the point where we started showing people, like the young females that he was going after, we would send them video clips of like Laura Brotherton. Like, hey, this is what happened to a female that Russ had brought out for his tour. This is what you're looking at happening to you if you go and do this. And Melissa was one of the ones that we got away from him. And oh, he was so fucking mad. Oh, he got so mad at us. He got to where he was telling people that were doing the tour, if you're going to come do this, I need you to block these people on Facebook, on social media. I need you to block. And he would name me and Dan Truelove and a couple others. Before you can come do it, I need you to block these people, because we were sending clips of like Laura Brotherton, and after she got her ass beat, we would send clips of that to the potential contestant. And it fucked up a couple of his plans. And so that was one of his things, was he would tell whoever had signed up, he would tell them to begin with to block us so we couldn't get in touch with them. And I've got the waiver. I've got one of the he had a couple of different iterations of the waiver. One was like 40 something pages, and then one was 20 something pages, but I've got the 40 something page waiver on my backup drive. And some of the things that he, like, it's fucking ridiculous, the things that he put in that waiver. Like, you'll be dropped from an airplane 200 foot in the air, you know, and you consent to all that shit. You'll have fingernails and shit pulled off with pliers. You might have teeth pulled. I mean, just absurd, just fucking absurd shit. And then if you say anything disparaging about him, he has a non-disparagement clause that if you say anything to disparage Mckame and after you leave, that he can sue you. And it's like some ridiculous ass term, like 20 years. You can't talk bad about him for 20 years, or he'll sue you for $50,000. And supposedly this is a legal binding contract, but you can't sign anything under duress. And everybody that signs that fucking waiver is under duress, because they're sitting there with him in their ear, you know, telling them to sign it, read it. You got to read every line. You have to read it and initial beside it. And he's hollering at you the whole time you're signing. It's not something that you just read through on your own and sign at will. You're under duress while you're reading it and signing it. So it's fucking crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And I am going to have to go and watch that because I've watched everything else on it. It is a rabbit hole. I fell down it when you first brought it up the first time, like back in the day. So, of course,
Wait,
I'll have to watch this update, trilogy from this trilogy guy.
who reaches out many times?
I don't know. I was trying to see that too. I seen that message and I tried to scroll back and I really didn't see anything. I don't know what they're talking about either, JM. That's fine, April. I don't care. I can't stand that mother trucker anyways. All he ends up doing is trying to get into my back and then he freaking like I won't let him up and so he'll just leave tons of messages in my back chat. So I can't stand him.
Well, he's a mental case, so I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yes,
but
Birdo is out there. I can't stand him. All he does is scream and yell. It's like you can't even have a conversation with that dude. So I don't ever let
mental
anybody.
illness is alive and well, and we don't. Our mental health in this country sucks ass, and They should
Yeah,
bring back insane asylums and shit, because people like Birdo, his ass should be in an insane asylum. He should be, I mean, for real, this motherfucker should have on a fucking straight jacket and in a padded room and be fed through a fucking slot in the door. Like, you don't need to
yeah,
be around the general public, and you're a nuisance. Like, everywhere you go, every stream you get on, you're a fucking nuisance. Nobody can stand to even hear you talk, dude. Like, shut the fuck up already.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that should be in an asylum like Square, Ruski, Silver Snatch. There's a lot. Good morning, Smart Mouth. But yeah, there should be some kind of mental institution. There really should. And I'm not saying like the ones back in the day where patients were treated horribly and were kind of used as test subjects. It shouldn't be like that. But yeah, there should be more mental institutions.
Yeah, Berto is. Berto is another square. He just talks faster. And I say he, and I mean he.
Yeah,
He.
and I mean he too. I will never address that person as a she. It's a he.
And
So
people try to use the police as mental health, and they're not. I mean, we get called out as as EMT or whatever to mental health problems, and there's really nothing that we can do as a emergency response to a mental health crisis. I mean, if somebody's having that kind of issue, like say somebody called 911 because Birdo's running his mouth and nobody can understand what he's saying, and they think he might be a danger to himself. Well, there's nothing we can do. We can't stop somebody from hurting themselves. Like, if somebody's going to do something to themselves, they call us. We can't do anything. We can't kidnap them and take them to the hospital unless they consent, or unless they have a power of attorney, or a living will, whatever. Unless they've already been deemed by the court, then we can't do anything. So, calling the police is really the only other alternative. And every altered mental status call that we get, the cops have to go first. Because if they're a danger, if there's a possibility that it could get violent, we can't do anything to them. We can't assault them. If they hit us, it's a felony on them, but we can't hit them back. So the cops have to go in and secure whatever before they'll let us come in. It's wild.
yeah, it is. It is. And people do that. I mean, especially like parents when they know their kids are having some kind of a mental issue and it's not just, them being a dickhead teenager. You know what I'm saying? And what do? They either call the police or they'll take them to like the ER. The ER really can't do anything for them either. Like you've got to seek a mental position for that. And people don't understand that, you know. I mean, the cops can sit like if you're batshit, they can come and pick you up and Baker Act you themselves, like how they did with Squizzy that time. They can do whatever they want. So, yeah, sanitarium is what the watcher said.
Well, let's take Andrea for example. If Andrea, if they called on Andrea because she's being normal, for her it's normal. For us, we see what it is. I mean, it looks like she's fucking schizo. We're gonna tell them to lock her ass up, take her away. Like, she needs to be Baker Act is what they're
Yeah.
called. Well, I think in Florida or
In
one of the
Florida,
states,
it's a Baker Act. In Florida, it's Baker Act.
she would have to be a Baker Act where she's got to be put away.
Yeah.
That would be, I mean, my professional recommendation is that Andrea be Baker acted, because I mean she can't keep reality separate from YouTube. I mean, her reality is YouTube. She
Yeah.
falls into all these different storylines, and season 1, season 2. I mean, anybody that just listens to her talk, they'd think, God, this woman's batshit crazy. What's wrong with her? And Andrea, what about all the calls we've had? I mean, you talk normal for a minute and then you go off on these tangents. I mean, what's wrong with you? Are you off your medicine today? Take your medicine and then come
I
back.
mean, I will say this about Andrea. Every time she's been up on my panel, we've gotten along. I mean, there's been times when me and Andrea haven't gotten along. But when she is up on my panel, she's funny, she's not disrespectful to me. So I mean, I do respect her for that when she does come on my panel, that she holds a little bit of restraint.
Well, she gets
So
everything all mixed up. Just like, I sat here and I talked about my friend Brandon and doing he was in the military. And if she was paying attention, she would know that the timeline of Brandon going to Mckame Manor was way before I ever became a part of anything on YouTube or Facebook. But then she comes up here talking about abusing veterans and all. I mean, where did you get that from? Yeah, Russ McCamey abuses veterans. I mean, he made that one of his sticks and said that even military folks come to his haunt and couldn't get through it or whatever. But I didn't have any tie to him at that time. I wasn't even on YouTube or Facebook. But see, you can't keep reality separate. You can't separate, and your time is all screwed up and everything that you try to throw out. So everybody knows you're crazy. We just think you're off your medicine at some point. So take your meds. Maybe go back to the doctor and have them adjust your meds, because it's kind of like snaggy. You need help, and maybe it's at the bottom of a bottle. Have you tried that? Have you tried just down in a couple of fifths before you get on a live? Maybe that would help. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you could self-medicate. Have you tried fentanyl? I mean, sometimes that's a good alternative. Have you tried cyanide? I mean, I don't know what might help you, because I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. First off, I've got my own ideas, but I'll keep them to myself. I think you need to sign up for Mckame Manor. That's my opinion. I think you need to head over to the Facebook group and then search for Mckame Manor Official, join the group, and then message Russ McCamey. Send him a message, tell him, hey, you really love him. You think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and that you'll have to, he does it different now. He does karaoke now instead of the haunt. So you'll have to hit up a karaoke bar in Summertown. I can tell you the name of the bar. I have to look it up because I don't remember what it's called offhand. But it's a karaoke bar that Russ goes to every weekend and sings karaoke, and that's his new pickup thing, is singing karaoke. I guess the whole Facebook group thing just wasn't working that well for him, since these people keep accusing him of like attempted murder and shit. He's got to find another stick. Russ does drink. Yeah, he does. He says he don't drink and don't cuss, and he's a lying sack of shit. He damn sure drinks and he damn sure cusses.
good morning,
Yeah.
Becky G. Love you, sis.
Andrea threatening to leave again. She's not. Come on, Andrea. Say bye again, and we'll all say bye, and then you'll still be here. Go away. Just go away. You don't have to announce your departure. It's not an airport. Just Just bye. Bye, bitch. Bye.
If you are leaving, Andrea, have a good day.
She's not leaving. She's still here.
Oh, he probably did, Harley. He probably did. Birdo came back. He thinks I'm insecure. That's cute. I'm not insecure because I know who I am. I'm a real woman. I have all the right lady parts in the right spot. So I don't know what there's to be insecure about, Birdo.
I think if we could get some body cam footage of Andrea getting arrested, that would be great. I bet she tells the cops all about hearing voices.
Yeah, I watch a lot of cop cam footage, and it's always either as soon as they get arrested, it's either I hear voices, I can't breathe, and I need an ambulance. And I'm having a panic attack. It's like instantly, as soon as the cuffs go on, it's like I'm sick, my pinky toe, like anything you can think of to try to prolong going to the jail. It's ridiculous.
Well, the whole "I can't breathe" that's George Floyd all over
Yeah, I
again
know
with
it
his,
is. Yeah.
a knee on the neck. If you're screaming "I can't breathe," then you're breathing because you're talking. You can't talk, then
Yeah.
you can't breathe.
Yeah, like I've seen them be put in the back of the car and they'll be fucking throwing their feet all around, kicking and shit. And they're like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm like, if you're doing all that shit and screaming, you can breathe. Ain't nothing wrong. But yeah, they'll do anything. Like I've even heard them. They'll talk to the cops, be perfectly fine, and they'll put on the cuffs, and then all of a sudden it's, I have a broken wrist, I have a broken arm. It's like the weirdest things ever that they'll say. I've heard the broken wrist one quite a bit. I'm like, well, you never said that before they even touched you that you had a broken wrist. And if you have a broken wrist, why don't you have some kind of cast or something on it? You know? So it's funny. Ice and fire, good morning, honey. But yeah, I do think there should be more mental institutions for some people. Square fits it perfectly. Silver Snatch does too.
Oh, I got a picture I can share. Let me see.
Just let me know when you throw it in the back. You know how to do it. You have to do it as like you're coming in as a guest. Yeah, people do the I can't breathe all the time. That ain't gonna get you out of being arrested. You're right, Sly. It doesn't. Cassie, that's what I'll tell my fella if you're doing all that yelling when I tie him up. He's faking. Just kidding. That's funny. You're funny this morning,
All right,
Twisted.
put that up.
All right. Oh, is that a snake?
Yeah, I caught it. I caught it
Is
yesterday
it
evening.
is it all black or is it black with like white spots? Or is that
It's
just the way the
it's
picture
it's
came
black.
out?
It's black with specks. It's a black king snake.
Oh, nice. We get the black racers down here a lot.
We have those too, but they're not a constrictor. This is a constrictor. So king snake constricts its victim like
Yeah.
mouse or whatever it catches. So that's a black king snake. And actually it's ironic. Um I caught it yesterday morning and I let the kids see it because they're not the least bit dangerous. They're really actually kind of docile. They won't
Yeah.
strike. I mean,
Yeah,
you
they're like
can,
a garter snake almost.
I don't know if you can even get one to strike. I've picked up I don't know how many of these and never had one even attempt to strike. But I set it back down next to a little patch of woods. It went off into the brush and disappeared. 6 hours later, I was back in the same area and I was looking toward that wood line that I had set it free. And there it is again. Same snake. It had to be the same snake. So I went and caught it again and took a couple more pictures and then set it down again in the same area.
Yeah. Yeah, those snakes are good to have around for like small little rodents and crap like that come around. We get the black racers here. They're pretty basically the same thing. Like they're not gonna they will try to strike, but their fangs are so little, like they really can't penetrate you or anything. So,
Well,
but
that's
they'll strike
they're
if
like
they're
rat
scared.
snakes. So the black racers have the same. Um, they have little teeth that are like
Yeah,
rat snakes. So they're not really. They can't inject any venom or anything. They're just little teeth to aid with swallowing food. So
yeah,
even if they do bite, it's going to be like being scratched by a briar.
yeah. I know. Yeah, we have way worse snakes like coral snakes, shit like that. So I'm always, when I walk the dog, I'm always looking. But yeah, we get a lot of black racers, a lot. And my old dog, my miniature schnauzer, when I had my fenced in yard, when we would let him out, I caught him twice. He ate two black freaking racers, dude. Like he had a thing about eating snakes. I don't know why, but he did. I couldn't believe he ate them. I was like, the first time I caught him, he had half of it hanging out of his mouth. And then the next time we caught him, it was just the tail sticking out of his mouth. So I don't even know how big they were. But
Oh, I
yeah,
love
my dog
these.
used to
I
like
love
eat.
having these around.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of snakes and a black racer. I'd rather have those around than like coral snakes, stuff like that, because we do have a lot of poisonous snakes.
Since this
So,
is, yeah, Chad's right. Since this is a black snake, it is a protected class. I don't know if it hears voices or not,
yeah,
but it is a
we can't
protected class of
tell.
snake.
Yeah, he is. Yes, yes, he is.
Oh, I got another one.
For racers, fucking rolling. Good morning, Magnolia King,
Yeah, you can
Queen.
share that one too.
All right, let me grab it. At this stage. All right, there we go.
I set him loose. That was right before I called him, but I set him loose in the same spot.
Oh yeah, he's not very big. He looked a lot bigger in your hand, like longer. He's not very long. But yeah, those snakes are always good to have around, especially, for like bigger bugs, freaking frogs, freaking, crap like that, like little rodents, stuff like that. It keeps all that away. So
I've got one here at the
anything
house
that
and I
eats
can't find it.
frogs, I'm cool with.
Everybody, my wife's seen it, my sister-in-law's seen it, my little girl's seen it, but I just can't manage to catch it. I can't manage to find it. But there's one right here around my chicken pen. Everybody else has managed to see it, but he hadn't
You
come out.
haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, I ain't been able to. I'll catch him whenever he does and take pictures and shit and set him back down. But he's right here somewhere. I know he's close by because
Yeah,
he's coming after the mice that get in my chicken pen.
yeah. That's why they're always good to have around. Like, that's why I'm like with the black racers, I'm not afraid of them. Like, sometimes I almost stepped on one because I didn't see it because the grass was high, and I jumped back then because it startled me, because I didn't get a good look at it before it started moving. So I was like, oh shit, what I just step on. But yeah.
Um,
Joe, that's not nice.
oh,
Good
here's a
morning,
better
Joe.
picture.
There we go.
That was the first time I caught that snake yesterday morning. He was just he wouldn't move. He seen me moving and he stopped and he wouldn't move anymore. And I just reached down and picked him up. But the coloring and all on him, I like their color because they have the black and white specks and I don't know, they're nice to have
Yeah,
around.
they are cool looking. They're not dangerous, but some of them are pretty cool looking.
And they do get big. This one's probably almost grown. He might get a little bigger.
Hold on, I can't read that. What's that say? And almost looked like a water snake. We get water moccasins down here, and they are no joke, and they get big as fuck. Like, so I always have to watch out for those too because where like the back of the drive where you come in through the apartment complex, we have like a big ditch, and it's all filled with grass, but it's a big, huge ditch. And anytime it rains and stuff like that regularly, it will flood up. And then you have to watch out for the water moccasins and stuff because they will come in that water. They'll come out of the drainage ditches when it fills with water and stuff. So, yeah, water moccasins are no fun. Fuck that. Now I remember last year around this time, isn't that when your son called you and was like, "Dad, look at this snake," and you had to go out there because you're like, "Don't touch it because it was poisonous." Wasn't that last time year about
Yeah,
this time?
yeah. He found a moccasin on the when he was on
Yeah,
the side by side, which where he was at was close to a creek, so no surprise.
yeah, they're insane. I don't do those. Let's see what Twisted said. When we were in the military, I loved it when they brought back walking, talking souvenirs and didn't want us American women around them. There's a rumor moccasins can bite underwater. That's a straight up lie. I don't think they can. Yeah, motivated. I've never heard of that.
No, they
They
can.
yeah, they can.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know they could bite you when they were underwater.
Yeah. That's kind of like there's all kind of different rumors about you know telling them apart and the shape of their head and all that shit. And that's a good way to do it, except for with a coral snake. Coral snakes aren't pit vipers. They have to chew in the poison, but uh, there's no there's no one set rule for telling venomous snake from a non-venomous.
Yeah.
You just have
And
to
I will
know
tell you
what's
this.
what.
I know it happens with a coral snake. I believe it happens with all snakes. I mean, if it happens with a coral snake, I'm sure it's not the only one. But let's say you chop the head off of a coral snake. When you do that, you still can't just pick up the head. Like you can take a stick and put it in front of their mouth and it will fucking bite it for like I think it's like a minute or two after they're dead. If you go to try to grab their head, even though it's not on their body, it will strike. It will strike one more time. So like you can't grab their heads. You have to wait a while or pick it up with a shovel or something, but you can't use your hands.
Well, just cutting their head off doesn't empty their venom
They're
sac,
venom. Yeah.
which I don't do that. I mean, if there's a venomous snake around my house, I'm going to call a buddy of mine that's a handler. He's got the snake hooks and all that shit to catch them, and he does it all over the Birmingham area. So if I have one, I'm gonna call him and let him come get it. I'm not gonna just kill them just to be killing them.
Yeah, no. Like here, a lot of times, there's been people that like their pythons, their pet pythons have gotten out and then made it with, another snake. So we have like a lot of those pythons that you'll find, and we just call up this guy, and he's like something snake wrangler, and you call him up, and he comes and picks them up, and he goes and really locates them out in the Everglades and stuff. But I'm just not gonna kill a snake to kill it. Like the only time I had to kill a coral snake was it was came in my porch and I walked right past it, didn't even see it, sat down and all of a sudden noticed it and it was right by the door that you had to come in and out. And my kids were up and stuff. So I yelled to my ex-husband, like, lock the sliders, don't let the kids out. and I took a shovel to it and chopped its head off. And I was going to go to bend down to grab its head. And that's when my husband yelled, he's like, "Don't touch it, it will still bite you." So that's how I kind of found out about that.
I didn't
But
think they
that's
had
the only
coral
time
snakes
I've
in
ever
Florida.
killed a snake. I just don't go around like, "Oh, you're a snake, let me kill you." Like, I don't do that.
There's coral snakes in Florida.
Huh?
I didn't think there was coral snakes in Florida.
Yeah, no, we have coral snakes here. Yeah. And it's like, I think the rule, like how they do it is like red over yellow kills a fellow, red and black won't attack or something. I don't know. There's a ring that's on them that you can tell which one's poisonous and which one's not. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's red and yellow.
yeah, because I had a killer coral snake and I was shocked. And we lived like kind of out in the country where it wasn't like I lived back 10 roads down and I was the only house there, and the other 10 roads, maybe altogether between the 10 roads and my 11th road, there might have been maybe 4 houses altogether. And so there was so much land that was overgrown that had like paper trees, all these different trees and stuff that were never cut down. So that was the only time I ever seen one was when I was out there. Like, I wouldn't see one here, it's too populated, but yeah, when we lived out in the country, that's when I walked right past it. I was like, "Holy shit, I'm surprised it didn't strike me when I walked past it." But yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
No, they're not aggressive though.
Yeah, I was like, and it was kind of like cold, so it was like easy for me to get it because at first I was just gonna try to scoop the whole thing up with the thing and throw it out in the yard. But our yard was so big in the back, and then all around it was all this overgrown brush. I was like, I don't want to put it out back, because of the kids. And I didn't have nowhere else like to walk it to. So unfortunately, I had to kill it. But that's the only snake I've ever killed, ever. Like, snakes deserve to be here just as much as we do. They're here for a reason.
Well,
So.
I guess I'm gonna go do stuff.
Alrighty, well, thank you for coming up, JM. I appreciate it.
Yep. Oh, and Andrea, get help. Whether that's at the bottom of a liquor bottle or the pill bottle or whatever, like get you some help. You need something. Maybe hey, maybe go to adamandeve.com and find the best toy you can find and have that drop shipped next day air. You might, I don't know. I don't think that would help either. I don't know. You need something. You need something in your life besides a phone and the YouTube button. I don't know what that might be.
Yeah. Are you going live anytime this week?
Yeah, maybe. I might go live in a day or two. I don't know.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, you have a great day. I appreciate you coming up always.
No problem. See you.
Bye, JM.
Bye.
Yeah, we all know Ruru's single. Jen, who wants to be with Ruru? I couldn't do it. I'm surprised Bambi did it, girl. I'm really surprised. Sly Boogie, you want to come up here with me, girl? I've missed you, lady. Yeah, I know we do have all kinds of shit here, Drew. That's why I ain't scared of nothing. We got sharks, gators, pythons, freaking all kinds of shit that warthogs out here. We got all kinds of shit that will kill you out here. Spiders, brown recluses, yeah. Bumby is just a nutty as Roofy, yeah. Sly, do you want to come up? You don't have to if you don't want to, but it would be awesome if you did, girl. You can fill me in on the Harold situation. Oh, I mean Harlow situation. No, I did mean Harold. Barendorf, are you guys? Come on now. Why are you guys arguing in chat? Like, I don't care. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want in my chat, but I hate it when people argue. Oh, okay, that's fine, honey. That's fine. I ain't trying to force you to come up. I was just saying it'd be fun. Horlow, yeah. Twisted, I ain't had a day off in a long time. Sucks. I've got livestock, so it ain't really no days off. That's so true, Red Dog. That is. What kind of livestock do you have, Red Dog? Shady J, that's awesome. Horlow. Yeah, I call her Harold. Tattoo, how have you been? In Texas, we have shark gators and illegal crossings. Tattoo. Oh, I love you, Tattoo. Yeah, when you have any kind of livestock and you've got kids and work, like you really don't ever have a day off. I used to have a shit ton of chickens. I had like 15 chickens and I had two ducks, and it was a constant, thing. Besides having my kids, like the ducks were my kids and the chickens were me. Twisted Ginger C, LOL. We rented a Harley and we went up North Shore. Where all the big waves are and watch them surf. That's awesome, Drew. Yeah, well, we all know that, Sly. For real, for real. I guess Birdo got mad and ran away, you guys. Ducatis, yeah, Ducatis are nice. I'm a Harley chick, actually. My ex-husband owned Harleys, so I'm I don't like crotch rockets. I have to have the sissy bar because I don't want to have to hold on to somebody all the time. I want to be able to lean back and just enjoy the ride. So, good morning, Artemis, aka McQuinley Queen. Did I say that right? Good morning. I'm doing good, ice and fire, but I went to the beach with my friends yesterday and I got so sunburnt, like my whole entire body, front and back, is sunburnt. So I'm very uncomfortable. But yeah, I had a good day. It was awesome. So there's that. So did everybody have a good weekend? What y'all do? Oh man. Wait, that sounded dirty on a motorcycle. I meant LOL. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure somebody will clip that. Oops. My bad, my bad. Twisted Ginger, I wasn't going to go there with you. That's funny, you guys. I have so much fun with you all. And listen, I appreciate every single one of you guys that are in chat and that come in here and chill just to listen to me chit chat. I appreciate JM for being up here. I even appreciate MC being up here. And that's saying a lot because we all know how I feel about MC, but I can be cordial. So, whose birthday is it? What did I just miss? Excuse me, Drew, who are you telling happy birthday to? Smart mouth, why are you yelling? Anytime I see all caps, I assume like the person's yelling. Twisted, it was your birthday. Oh my God. I know people hate this, but Twisted, I'm going to do it. This is belated. I'm sorry, honey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Twisted Ginger. Happy birthday to you. Ooh la la, cha cha cha. Cut the cake and say hiya. There you go. Happy birthday, Twisted. I do those far in between. Artie girl, I'm glad to see you in here, girl. You're using your inside voice, but when you're in all caps, it makes it sound like you're saying, I'm speaking in my inside voice. You're welcome, Twisted Ginger. I haven't done one of those in a long time. I know there's certain people out there that don't like that I do that and think it's weird, but I don't care. I hope you had a great birthday, girl. What's going on, Harley? Whose post about what? What did I just miss, Harley? What are you and Sly talking about? I missed it. What's going on? Berendorf, I'm calling animal control for feeding that dog shoe leather steak. You put that. Oh, I don't know who you're fighting with. Oh, with Joe. You know that really big pit bull that went by the hall? He was about 200 pounds. I think so. Sly, he was had some beautiful pups. Hulk the pit bull passed away. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing that pit bull before. That's sad. Did he just like pass away of old age or did somebody do something to him? Yeah, that was a big ass pit though. Yeah, that dog was fucking huge, bro. It was like one of the biggest pits I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. That's sad though. It is sad. It's always sad when an animal passes away. It's always sad when a person passes away. But yeah, he was a huge ass dog. He passed away this morning. You think? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Great genetics. You ain't lying. But yeah, I remember that pit bull. He was huge. Yeah, that's it. That's just real sad. I feel sorry for the owner. You know. Yeah, it was always good with the babies. I remember when they would do like videos like showing how protective and stuff he was over the kids. That's sad. Alrighty, at 10 o'clock, I'm going to end because I've been on here long enough for today. It's 9:58 right now. So, like I was saying, I appreciate everyone that's here in chat, that's chatting in chat. Thank you all for being here. Please hit that like button either on the way in or the way out. If you're in the bushes, I even appreciate you being in the bushes. Everyone have a wonderful rest of their Monday. And Angela, I should be doing putting my nails on sometime this week, probably Thursday. So I ran out of fingernail polish remover. I've got to go pick up more to soak off the rest of the gel off my nails before I can put your nails on. So, but yeah, Angela, shout out again. You did amazing nails. My kids love them. They're like so happy with them. They were so excited. I love mine. I love them all. You did an amazing job. And I really appreciate that you did that for me, girl. I really do. So, Yeah, it's 100% how you raise them. You're right. Okay, thank you, Harley. So, everyone have an amazing day. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. JM, thank you for coming up on panel. It's always a pleasure. MC, thank you for joining the panel. Andrea, thank you for being on the panel. As always appreciate when I see Andrea. So I think she left. She must have got mad and left JM. So, but thank you to everyone that came on panel. Thank you to everyone in chat. And if you don't like me and you're in the bushes or whatnot, I know you watching. Have a great day as well. I love y'all, and I'll see you when I see you. Love you. Bye.